Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to the 446th Knowledge Seekers Workshop here on Thursday, August 18th, 2022. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute Education Department and part of the Public Teachings in English. My name is Rick Crammond, and I'll be host once again in these weekly Knowledge Seekers Workshops. And once again, we have the pleasure of being joined by Mr. Mehran Keshe of the Keshe Foundation, who will be delivering today's teaching and knowledge of the universe. Hello, Mr. Keshe. Are you ready to begin?
Yes, good morning, good day to you, as usual. Wherever and whenever you listen to this series of knowledge seekers of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute, from one corner of this universe, in a spot on the plasma of there. We come back to a full circle of teaching again and again, and every time an intro decided brings back what was supposed to be taught. In the next couple of hours of sharing knowledge, we bring back a lot of new understanding, new ways things is done and to be done. As usual, at the beginning of the Keshe Foundation teachings, if there are any matters, we bring forward. As I explained to you last week, at the back of last week, we have a problem regarding the finances of the Keshe Foundation in respect to a group. And since the dispatch of last week that we're going to expose, the organization is trying to find a way to sort it out. And hopefully within the next week or two, we'll come to some conclusion with this matter. It was important that you know that we work openly, the way we open our patterns and the way we share knowledge, we bring the problems of the Keshe Foundation directly to the knowledge seekers that we all know, and we share and we take steps that these things does not happen. It has brought harm to many of us, and it has brought a lot of hardship to many of knowledge seekers. This, what I call intrusion in our, what I call discouraging act of us trying to expand the Keshe Foundation and abuse or whatever happened. I thank you for you and many of you asking what it is. You will understand in the coming years what we have done. But it was important for us, after months of work and investing millions into it from the Keshe Foundation and support of you knowledge seekers, some of it, to bring this to an end as it was dragging on every week to next week and the next week. And it brought us as we liked, but in fact we were in the hand of the people who were supposed to know what they are doing. And so we waited a couple of more days or so. We were told us to try to fix it. And hopefully we'll start a new era with the Keshe Foundation from now. Going back to the teachings and going back to what we said. Up to now, in the what I call horizon of teaching. First of all, today we are in a new location. You might hear noises or whatever, which is nothing to do with our work. There's a background noise. We are in a public place. You hear a lot of cars and people passing or whatever. One of the parts of the teaching, what is important, has been important to many of us in the past few weeks, has been the transmutation system, so the flight system in LENS. And then the introduction of the gases as the units. Many of you might think what this has to do with the other. Energy and the gas, because don't forget, are important. When you speak about a gas is a gas in a nano state. So the body of the man is a conversion of the gas, because our body is made of gases. It's a collection of gases. So we had to understand the structure of operation and making of gases from the fields. Otherwise, we cannot produce what we call gases. And you have seen it. We showed it as a gases energy conversion. This is very fundamental. This is part of what I call cornerstones of understanding the whole structure. We do not need plutonium. We do not need uranium. We do not need to carry different materials. As was the intro, very simply, you just need one element. This is what is done in your thalamus and your thymus. Everything arrives as a lymph. And then in these two glands, in combination of work to each other, they decide how this lymph, which is a mono energetic, when you cut yourself, you see that white liquid, clear, transparent liquid, that is from hydrogen, has the capability to plutonium, uranium, and other materials which are unknown to man. What happens, it enters the environment, enters the vicinity of the two glands working together in a very specific condition, and then it takes orientation, and it comes to become a calcium, it becomes to be a potassium, it becomes to anything else, even uranium in your body. So it's the behavior energy, not matter energy state. In this process, we have to understand why. Because now that in the process of the enhancement unit, we make it into one plasma. This is your soul. And then the ingredient of the structure within it, which is your physicality and the soul of physicality. The soul of physicality is very simple. The soul of physicality is that nucleus. The interaction of the totality creates the dimension of the gas, the dimension of the gas, the dimension of the soul. We don't look at the proton and the electron or neutron. We look what effects they create in the dimension of the creation as a field. So now you understand how we will transmit you. Going to the transmutation, many of you came and are still registering to come in to test flight. You come into test simulation. Some of you have now signed to become mobile transmutation. Some of you are coming in to Keshe Foundation Center to be transmuted from one system to another. This took us 6 weeks, 8 weeks, and we're still in progress. This is to come by around October, November, everything goes correct, and this starts in September. We know where we are going. We have developed the technology. Our system set even today. Today, for the first time, we open the door to man in true space technology. Sometimes from the beginning of the January of next year, we offer 2 flight systems. We land you on the moon, or we land you on Mars. I have invited the head of NASA Mars 2030 operation to join the Keshe Foundation to bring the whole process into unison. What does this mean? Once we can transmute you and test you in September, many of you have registered, then we bring you in. The first person to be transmuted has already been chosen. You come from another continent into Europe. Those of you we need to come in and still carry on for transmutation from system 1 to system 2 and 3 to 4 will go into September, October. Here we have passed over 100, and we're still getting people registered. Mobile transmutation, we're still getting registered. The same with what we call transmutation within the Enhancement Center. We only accept 20 and 20 people for Moon and Mars mission. What does this mean? It means we take you from Enhancement Center and we land you on the location on Moon. We transfer 2 people at the same time to have evidence of what we change and how we change that the other one can see us. We allocate up to 3 days for this process. For landing you there, it will take us a few seconds. For bringing you back, it takes us a few seconds. But the process is to see how you behave and how you look. You would not look as a human on the platform of the moon. Sometime after, when we qualified enough to understand this, out of the 20 transmutations to Moon, we go to Mars. Mars is important for us because Moon has characteristics of the Earth. Mars is unknown energy pack, even though we know it. Sometime in 2024, 2025, we choose another solar system in this galaxy, and thereon another galaxies. The process is unstoppable. We cannot stop this process because the knowledge is gathering and the position has been created. So from now, I'll accept the first 20 people who want to land on the moon. Prefer to be a couple, prefer to people who know each other. We have put a cost of 25,000 euro for this process. We have put a cost of 50,000 for Mars. Don't forget, the future relies on what we established today. The Moon and Mars comes as a donation to the foundation, as we'll use different locations and research positions of the Keshe Foundation to complete this process. I close the Moon and Mars gap within the next few days. I know many of you would like to do this. But then, after applications we receive, donations we receive, we decide which one goes and which one comes first, second, third, and fourth. As you remember, when it came to the first man was Armstrong. And we always remember, we don't remember much who was been in the second, third, and the other Apollo missions. So 25,000 is what is set for to take it to Moon. Don't forget, you pay $250,000, 1 million to be a few seconds in the air to the other space agencies, which use rocket. This position for us is important because we want to see how our bonus structure will change. We want to see how the soul of physicality and the soul of the man and the soul of the moon will create a new feature for us. And why we do in twos and maybe fours is to witness, to see the other, to see how it will come. This operation of the moon, transportation and transmutation, will start early next year. But we have to understand this. Those of you who come with us to Moon, you will come back as a different person because you will see the world of creation through the transmutation. You'll become mature to understanding of the soul of the creator. You become to understand you are different. In a way, traveling the depth of the universe makes you to become a new being, a new understanding, a new comprehension for totality of the knowledge of the creation. Those of you who came to Keshe Foundation, those of you who came to Lens Center and felt the change, touched by how your soul was and how your soul can travel. Now is what we came here as Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute. As of 2023, we become a truly space program on the levels of the energies of the universe. We will sign a contract with you on the flight pattern, which means we decide. And how we decide is our decision. You might land on the moon, you might land on the Mars, and you decide that life is so peaceful, it's so beautiful that you do not want to come back. The decision is yours. There has been a controversy about if there are other creatures on the moon. We heard, we listened for past years. There is always a talk, a 2-minute session missing from Armstrong's and communication of the Apollo to what we call Cape Canaveral, to the American Space Center. The controversy has been that Armstrong reported seeing other creatures across the strait. The claim that he has encountered other lifestyle and he could not be heard by the world of public. If he did or if he did not, we as the knowledge seekers will see the true form of them. There is no corner of the universe which is not habited. There is no corner of the universe where a kind of lifestyle does not be. You know, when people go to conquer Everest, they go to the camp and they go to the final camp before the final ascent. Many people of the universe, to see the beauty of the earth, use the moon for that purpose. The final landing, the final position. Because the life on this planet is so physical, everything is observed and can be seen. So the moon has been used by universal community who come as what are called the final landing, before the launch to Earth, to come and see where Mitra was, how Mitra felt. And soon these flights will increase as we go to the moon to come and see the children of Mitra, the new generation, the daughter of Mitra, and the life on this planet. So if and what has been a mystery about Armstrong's 2-minute silence and missing of the voice communication will be clear to us. But the most important thing for us will be, for the first time as we travel to the dimension of the soul of the man, would we see the soul of the creatures of the universe, or would we see the physicality of the man of the universe? This is not anymore to what we assumed, what we thought, what we guessed. Is the reality the first 20 people on the moon will bring us back. They all will feel the same. They all will feel as they're created from the structure of the interaction of the fields of the soul of the man, the soul of physicality of the man, and the soul of the moon. The important thing for us when we bring you back is how you will interact with the society here. How you will change, how your emotions, how your physicality change. Would you be riddled with cancer when you go, and how would that cancer be when you come back? If you were a scientist in the knowledge of the physiology, would you come back with the knowledge of physiology of the universe? Because now you become universal community person, being. The first 20 people will be for us an enigma. We have to understand. Through the soul of the structure of the creation of the universe, I will be with you. To you, you'll be on your own. But to you, I'm with you. I'll be there to observe, to see, to understand how you as humans learn, how you bring the knowledge back, how much you become the true human. Keshe Foundation has truly entered the space technology as of today. We have tested the engines, we have tested the passengers, we have brought you to become the motions, the brother of love. And with it, we have put the total understanding of the creation. I will close the Moon and Mars landing sessions within the next few days. Does not matter what wealth you carry. We choose those who have sincerely came as a souls to serve. You have to understand, this could be a one-way ticket, not to die, but to be born in a dimension of the soul of the creation in the universe. You might decide to come back in time and visit. You might come back with us and bring us the knowledge and the technology. You might come back and bring us the love of the Creator. The moon and the Mars transmission and flights will be the same time, exactly like when the man went to the moon. I watched it on the roof, wondering what man will do and what he sees. Some 55 years later, I'll be there on the moon to see what actually man become. What he will behave. Would he still kill? Would he behave correct with the universal community on the moon? Those of you who went through the moon and come back will not be the same as before. You'll be knowledgeable to knowledge of the universe, where the matter state becomes irrelevant. By mid-end of next year, we'll open a colony of man on the moon, because then it's easy for us. Then we understand more. And then from there to Mars, and then the next, and the further. There is no position on the Keshe Foundation what I call sales point to fight for the moon and Mars mission. You make a donation to the Keshe Foundation direct, and us to be on the flight system list. It'll be interesting for us to have a couple. It'll be interesting for us to have brother and sister. It'll be interesting to us to have friends. It'll be interesting to see how they react. It'll be important for us if what we call visualization of the information when you come back is visualized, not recorded on camera. It'll be in a different dimension direction. And we will see how the technology will bring a new dimension to all of us. This way, for the first time, man becomes a true member of the universal community. The moon mission, starting from beginning of 2023, is what we call the opening of new knowledge, opening of new understanding. What will be interesting to us is once you reach the moon, how come you have all knowledge needed to live on the moon? When you land on the Mars, how come you have all the knowledge? You know what you have to do. You know what to eat. You know where to go. You know how to absorb the energies of the planet. It'll be interesting how the knowledge seekers watch and learn and understand the new space technology. In a way, from 2023, we truly join the universal community because we go to universe. We leave the village of Earth, and where we learn how to educate ourselves with the knowledge of today. The most interesting part will be how you come back, how you'll be graduate into the knowledge of the universe. And then the first people who come back, they'll have access, they have the knowledge to become the true teachers, to understand, to be able to elevate the soul of the others with the knowledge. Not prophets, nobody else, but as a normal being, how you transfer knowledge, how you teach, and how you bring not only the human race, but other races of the universe to understand the process of the creation and the way we have taught you. We will teach, we carry on teaching, and in our process, we create a condition of the common knowledge for all of us. In a way, from the human to the stone, to the animal, to the trees, to everything which exists on this planet, to become knowledgeable about the life and creation. 2023, the space missions of the Keshe Foundation, it will be the beginning of what we call the cycle of change. We will see the establishment of the world peace. We see the establishment of one planet, one nation, one race. We see in our process, when we can transmit you to the different position in the universe, the end of religions. We see the end of governments, and we see the end of what we call injustices on the name of the governments. Because the process will become so transparent that none of us will dare to bring the separation. We see the end of the racism as we all unite to become the conqueror of the peace in the universe. It becomes like a football match in a country. When we see national games from one football club to another, we fight which team, which side. When we come to the national level and international level, we stand for our nations. We don't care which team we supported, because it's us. And then now man becomes united to be one soul for the universe. Does not matter what race, what position on this planet you've been born. We will strive to change the condition where man will not be known as an animal, but all of us will change by ourselves to become the banner of peace, banner of knowledge, and to be proud to be from blood of Mithra, where the Creator came from. And then the process will become beautiful for all of us. As I said, always, it's hard to find, to start a new structure, new religion, new country, new dimension. But when you give and people come themselves, they will change themselves. I always said the whole of the humanity has to change to accept peace. We will become peaceful. We become that followers of one nation football team, irrespective of our color, race, and which position in that nation we come from. And this will be ingrained in the structure of the life and the soul of the man. Now you understand what we write as one planet, one nation, one race. As through the transportation of the man to the universe, man will change. We become one nation, one planet, one race to the citizens of the universe. It will be interesting when We put a black man, a Chinese, a white man, and a yellow man, or whatever the color of the man, short, tall, different color of eyes, into these systems. How would they look on Moon and Mars in the universe? Would the black man will become white on the Moon, and the white man become black on the Moon, or all will appear as a grayish, silverish light? Then those of you who were racist by the color, and those of you who tried to change your color and saw abuse because of the color, all become equal. Would the people of the universe see us as different color, or we are all silvery, shining color of men of the planet Earth? Then it will be interesting to see what the black man comes back into lens and what the white man comes back to lens. These are not fairy tales. These are the realities which you have, and some of you already have started going through it, through the going to lens and going through the operation of the transportation and transportation lens. Book your ticket from the flight, wherever you are on these corners of this planet, to join us in 2023 to travel to different destinations, to Moon and Mars and beyond. It was interesting. One of the knowledge seekers in past few weeks has sent us the coordinates of the landing of the Moon, saying that somebody who was there, worked with NASA, gave the coordinates. If you're a guy who was with what we call Apollo system and has more information for us, let us share. Contact us and we take it further. At the young age of just prior to go to university, I met one of the most beautiful, serene women in the world, called Mary Harding. She was part of the NASA mission to Apollo. She was one of the key members of the Apollo landing. We came to know her well and shared a lot of knowledge with her beauty. She lived in England, in Oxfordshire. And I made a lot of time to see her, to understand how the Americans got it wrong and how what was. Little or whatever knowledge she could give me compared to what I had showed to me with all the might of what we call NASA, they still have not understood the totality. In this process, mankind has become to understand the totality. It's not anymore NASA mission. It's not anymore Russian Space Agency or the Iranian Space Agency. It's the human race on the banner of Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute. As one nation, one race, one planet, we will enter and we leave the village of Earth. Not in the physical dimension of the physicality of today, not with what I call the monkey suit, but with the suit of the creation, with the suit of the knowledge of the universe. Join me into the excursion to the Moon to start with. And if we decided you want to do the Mars and the Moon, it'll be all the same. Develop with us to deliver man into space, man into the universal community, and become the first ambassadors of man, where the man goes to universe from the human race, not man goes to space as a monkey suit as a man. the citizens of the universe will envy you, that how you surpass them being in such a small village in the very corner of this universe. You will have access to the knowledge of the creation and what they dreamt about for billions of years to achieve. Join me in it, and my soul will travel with your soul to make sure that you're safe and you come back safe. In a way, we don't drop you into the ocean. We'll come to you, we come with you, we hold your hand to learn how to live in the ocean of the universe magnetic fields. The time for man to enter universal community has come. We don't look at it if it's the 1st of January, is the Islamic calendar or Jewish calendar or whatever calendar. The time comes when the man matures and the point of maturity has come to be there. But as I said, the whole race has to see, the whole race has to do, and the whole race has to feel to become one nation. As I said once to one of my children, what happened when we teach the other citizens of the universe to play football, and would we all become the supporters of the earth souls playing the game? Then we have no nations and nationality. And would it be nice to introduce the game of football, the beautiful game, which actually the ball is the essence, the side, the way the universe looks and moves? Would we kick it with physicality, or would we bring the motion of the ball of the universe with our knowledge, how we hold it, how we change it, and in a way, the ball becomes the universe and the unicorns. Here we use the physicality to create the motion. There we create the knowledge of creation to sustain and play football with universal community. Join me in this. We might bring you back to Linz a couple of times prior to the final test to put everything in position. Do not expect that you come into the system and the next time you're on the moon. We have to structure, we have to put you through the system till you settle directly for that transmission and transmutation. The most interesting part will be how anxiously we, citizens of the earth, wait for your return. I wonder if the Americans left the camera that when the man of earth goes in front of it and switches it on and powers it somehow, will transmit back to what we call Earth to show how the man looks. What happens when the systems on Mars are retriggered and the power supply is established, a communication line set, what and how citizens of the Earth will see the system of man on Mars and Moon. The process of understanding the transmutation is very simple. In the past, even with the teaching, early intro of today, we confirmed, we have shown the understanding of the plasma, where the field of the totality of the electron, proton, and neutron as an energy pack is noticed. One thing which many of you will understand, because we haven't been through it yet, is that when we send you to the moon from Earth, you will not feel much difference except when you enter the atmospheric condition field forces of the two planets. But what will be interesting, which will come to us because we don't travel in the dimension of the physicality, we travel in the dimension of field forces. When we send you to Mars, how would you feel? I tell you exactly how you feel. You will enter a plasmatic magnetic field of the atom of the Earth. Here you cross into the plasma of the what we call Earth condition, including the moon. And then when you enter the Earth, you'll have atmospheric condition of the moon. Of the Earth when you work with plasmas. The present, what we call astrophysicists, the present missions to Mars have never, they've seen glimpses, they see changes, but they don't understand that they actually enter a plasma field of the totality. This we know in the solar system, with the sun in the center and different Mars and moons, we have the same structure, which we call the solar system. When you enter the solar system, you enter the zone. Then you enter the zone of the fields, and then you enter the zone of the planet or the moon of the planet. This entry and exit is important and will be vital to understanding of the transmutation of the elements. If you look at it, when I create the man in what I call in his own dimension, and I expand your soul, and you become a bubble, it's the same. It does not matter how what's inside it, the totality, which creates a dimension within the plasma. Now you understand why we went this way, why we went through the enhancement technology, why we went through every other aspect. What will bring us to this point? How we will change when we enter this plasma into this position, or to this position, or even to this. In the teaching of the past, for some of you who have not understood, or in some teachings, none of you have understood, is that we speak about the planet. We speak about the gravitational magnetic field of the planet. We speak about inertia. In the world of the science of the creation of the man, we speak about the soul of the man, which is gravitational magnetic field of the totality. But what is that elusive inertia, which we have chosen another word? We call inertia as the interaction of the matter-state field strength. We call inertia in the body of the man the spirit. Where the soul interacts with the totality of the fields of the universe, where the spirit or inertia involved only with the structure of the physicality of the existence of the planet or the body. When you travel to another dimension with another gravitational magnetic field, the soul will still stay the same, but now the spirit of the man, the inertia of the internal field forces of the man, has to deal with the inertial field forces of the planet. And this will give the new shape of the man, as the man will be different. And the shape of the man will become a dimension of the existence of the time, position, and the place. And how you interact, how the fields interact, would you become like a fish in the oceans of the liquid of the planet? You become the bird in the skies of it, or you become a man on the ground of it. Now you understand the isotopes and how we look at the plasma interaction. As I said, man has chosen many words for the same thing. We call it inertia in the world of physics. We call it the spirit in the dimension of the life of the man. Then mankind become wise to understanding the totality and knowing how it will behave. Different inertias have created gold, oxygen, and the rest. What would your inertia in the dimension of the plasmatic condition with moon will create a new you? Would you be the structure of the gold or the hydrogen? The totality of the knowledge sits within the structure of the enhancement unit within it. From everything which a man is made of, we have created a field. Do you need a bone structure on the moon? Do you need a bone structure in another dimension in the universe? Or would you stay to become new structures we have never known? A combination of the totality of a way that allows us to be. In the dimension of the physical man, we are just as it is, bones stuck to each other to create what we call the shape of the man. when you look at the structure of the fish. Some fishes have that bone structure which we are familiar with. Have you looked at the structure of the bone of the blowfish? Isn't it made of connection of the star parts? As it blows itself up, the structure and position become loose and connected. So man will change in that dimension and direction. If they feel the strength of our soul of physicality in a condition of another planet cannot support structure, will become the same as the worm. But would us as a structure dig into the ground of the planet, or shall we be a flying worm? The interaction of the fields of this flying worm, would it create a light with the environment of the planet? What many of us have seen as a cigarette light shape floating. Would the structure of us will not support a skeleton and we become the ball of lights many of us have seen with intelligence, knowing very good. Now, we have now even brought you to understand what you see as a cigarette lights in the sky or the ball flying around is a being with the intelligence knowing where he's going. He's going fast to another place. He has seen the Niagara Falls. He wants to go see the pyramids of Egypt. This is his aura, his interaction of the soul of physicality and the soul of the man with interaction with the fields of the gases of this. Then you understand there's life beneath us, within the still different life structures and layers of this planetary system. There are cavities within the structure of every planet that does not contain anything but fields, and new life in these fields has been created. And life lives by what is available to it in the time, place, and position. As I said many times, there is even life within the center of the sun. It cannot be any different, because if the fields in different strengths lead to the creation of the man, the fields in a higher order interaction has to create a condition of life. It has to create condition of the maturity of understanding of the time, place, and position. As I said, you gradually open your eyes to the truth that when you land on the moon, a flying light does not become a prophet to you if he shows you something. You just take it as another sign of the creation, another beauty of the Creator. I made man in an image of myself. But the beauty of it is that I have many images as I interact in different fields, in different strengths. I made life in the image of myself, and not only that. And life exists in every dimension of the universe. It's the interaction of the spirit of the man or creature with its environment, which decides the shape of the being and not the essence of the intelligence of the being. I made the universe, the image of myself. as a light, as a soul, as a sun. And the physicality comes from the interaction of the sun with its environment to manifest itself as planets and the moons, or as a man and the creatures on the planet. In 2023, the fulfillment of the promise of the past will be completed. Not by us, but by you as the passenger of the universe. A new cycle will start for the man. A new understanding. It will be like the first flights by the White brothers. And now we see where the flight system has taken us from jumbo jets to what we call Airbus 380 to rocket propulsion and what we call other labs. I'll make man so busy with the new knowledge in the next few weeks that man will not have time to go to war. Man will see no essence in conflict, but in unity. Will bring the end of the religions and man become aware of the soul and the soul of physicality and does not need no interpreter and no abuser. Religions will unite to withstand this new knowledge as it brings an end to it, but they'll find no match to what is to be delivered. By elevating the soul, we'll walk away from religion as we become religious ourselves in understanding the work of the Creator with no interpreter in between. This time is not the Americans or the Russians to go to space. This time is me who goes to space. It's me who decides, it's me who's the ambassador of the man, and it's me who has to be the best. In so many ways, you'll become the same. You'll become the first. Armstrong and White brothers and the rest all together in Mongo. And then we'll see how you will land, how you behave, and how you come back. And that's one thing. We'll also on you to secrecy. As you have to teach, you have to share and to understand the totality. Join me in the moon and Mars, and then the universe is yours. Because once I teach you to walk and talk, you'll understand how to connect to the rest of the universal community without any curtains, without any intermediaries, where you become the man of peace. You become the ambassador of man in the universe. Something which those of you who go to these excursions onto the moon and onto the other planetary system and into the space will be that your families will never miss you, because you will establish a connection through the soul. And they feel your presence at all times. Where in the dimension of the physicality you had to go to see or to be with, here you are with all the time. The sense of missing goes out of the window. The essence of everlasting omnipotent presence becomes what I call the lifestyle of the man who goes into this change. Then we understand we just don't need the connection to physicality of us who are alive. We make connection with those who we have lost or have not seen or have been in the past in our lives, where now there is no restriction of the time, position, and the space. the soul of the son, the soul of the brother, the soul of the mother, the soul of the friend who passed in one condition another years ago. As we live in the dimension of the space and time of the universe and not the physicality of man, which is restricted by his position and time. Welcome to my world and where I came from, and welcome to the life of the man in space as part of the universal community. Join me in this to become the first to take man into space and join us in space that we understand the totality of the work of the universe. The true race for human race to become part of the universal community has started. We keep you in the essence of the soul of the physicality of the man as long as you wish on this planet. Beyond this planet is yours and your soul. You become the captain of your life. Would you like to come back to the life and pains on this planet? Or would you like to be free from everything and be part of the universal community and travel the span of the universe? Because once you learn, you cannot forget. We go through a break and we come back. And then we answer any questions that might be asked. In the second part, I'll bring to you a new development in the Keshe Foundation in respect to the energy and the gas unit. Rick, if you'd like to take us to the second part of the same recording, and then we'll come back.
Yes, certainly. Thank you, Mr. Keshe. Let's see, just take me a minute to get that set up here. Just hang on.